Hey everybody, my name is Suke. Welcome to Lead Guitar Workshop. And today I had Jimmy on my mind, man. I woke up and I just felt like I wanted to play some Jimi Hendrix. So I jammed a little bit and I was thinking about it, that I want to show you a couple of his secret bends. Secret, at least to me, because it took me a long time to figure out what he was doing. So let's talk about them quickly. What is it? What does he do? So Jimmy spent so much of his time in pattern one, right? If you spend any time looking at his solos or any of his tunes, he's really does a lot with pattern one of the pentatonics. And if I'm looking at that in E, which is one of his favorite keys, you would be up here in the 12th fret. So let's talk about one of the bends, and this is a double bend that it just took me a while to get. So what it really is we know the unison bend that we do on the top strings, right? Now when you're bending this B string, it's going up a whole step from, in this case, a D to an E. And you can check your bends by playing them first. So if it's supposed to be a whole step, it should sound like a whole step, right? But sometimes things just happen by virtue when you're playing, and I think Hendrix probably stumbled upon this by maybe mistake or just when he was playing, that the strings coupled under his fingers. So here's the sound of the bend I'm talking about. It's like one goes up and another one comes down at the same time. And if we look closely, what's happening is when he bends up the B string, he's catching the G string under his finger and letting it come down as he releases the other bend. So as one bend goes up, the other one's coming back down again. I always go back to that G string. He always did that a lot. Just that right there. And you'll hear him do this. Like I said, he does it on like Gypsy Eyes. When he's up in A, I'm playing at his A flat. That's where it sounds like it is. It's hard to grab, man. Strats are brutal with this kind of thing. You'll hear people, even like Mike Stern does this a lot. If you look up the song, I think it's Avenue B by Mike Stern. He's way up on B. And he's doing it up there. So again, if we're back to E, it's subtle, but man, it really makes a big difference. So that one, when you hear it, you'll start recognizing it now, and you can add it into your playing in your own way, not just to emulate Hendrix. The other bend that Jimmy did that really took me a while to figure out was a first finger bend. Right? We never think about bending this. Maybe we pull down on stuff. But again, thinking pattern one. And like I said, I think I heard Jimmy do this on Come On Part 1 when he's playing. And I kept hearing this bend and I was like, man, I know he's not probably moving to get this bend. How is he doing it? And then it just finally dawned on me that it was a first finger bend on the B string. So again, pattern one. And that's really cool. And again, it's a whole step bend. So he's bending from the 12th fret to the 14th fret. Kind of gratuitously getting some of the other string in there anyways. Some people think, well, wait a minute, but that 14th fret is not in the pentatonic. And you're right, it's not. When does he do it? When he's playing over the 4 chord. Oh man, this is so cool. You catch Jimmy playing the changes. So if you imagine like you have a little A bar chord up here on the 12th and 14th frets, you can see the A triad on the 14th fret. 2 of them were in the pentatonic, right? We had the E, then the A on the G string, but not that C sharp. That's actually the major third of the chord. But Jimmy bends into that with his first finger. And if you do just that line again, you're actually almost arpeggiating the A chord. right? Really cool bend. You'll hear him do it on Band of Gypsies and a bunch of places. When you hear this, and it was funny because you do so many other bends with the third finger, right? We do the one on the B string, on the G string, and the high E. But I couldn't figure out when I would hear him playing. It's like that one bend would kind of come out of the side, and it's so cool. So that's what that other bend is. So these two bends really, it took me a while to get them. I even on the intro, a little bonus third one. Jimmy, and thusly Stevie Ray as well, love to bend the A note on the G string down here, doing a little kind of Catfish blues. You hear him even on Voodoo Child when he bends that. When he's flicking the selector switch. So again, those are two little simple ideas you can add in from Jimmy's arsenal of stuff. He makes so much use out of pattern one. That's why I love Jimmy. He's so good, man. He just squeezes the most out of what he had to get everything he did. So again, we have the, I don't know, however you want to name these things. The up and drop bend. One goes up, the other one comes down because you're coupling those strings under your third finger. And the other one is a first finger bend. Remember, and as a quick tip when you're bending, bending is never really finger push-ups, right? I tell my students to think of like if you're opening a door with a doorknob. You're going to use the torque in your wrist to hook that note, and that's where the leverage comes from. It's not the strength of your fingers pushing it, it's your wrist turning to get that. All right, so I hope these helped your bends for today and put you in a little bit of a mood for Jimi Hendrix. If you like what you hear, please subscribe, hit the notification bell, check out leadguitarworkshop.com, and we'll see you guys out there. And remember, keep playing.